Alright, so today we shall be working on the final details of this piece. Okay, so yep, I plan to work on this fine area today. So gonna set up first. So yep, give me a moment. I need to find the correct color first. Hey, hi Burr, how are you doing? Give me a moment. I'm trying to find the correct filling colors before I begin. Wow, thank you, thank you. You are flattering me. You are too flattering. Color. Okay lah, this should be correct one. Cause all this project, I always take a very long pause in between. You know, I only do to do. Collect color. Yes. Welcome to the stream. Remember to give the stream a like. What have you been up to today, Burr? So yeah, today we will be working on patching up the details and what's left over, mainly focusing on this section today. Yep, mainly focusing on this section and area today. So let's see how far we can cover. Yeah, I'll do some adjustments. Okay, this is I think okay. So give me a moment. Need to get to a comfortable working height. Okay, I think this is good. Do let me know if you guys are unable to see the screen or anything. Then I'll make some adjustments. So as usual, stick along to the end of the stream where I will zoom out and give a bigger picture of the current progress. So yes, stick around. So let's see how much I can cover today. So I wanted to complete this part ASAP as much as I can because I can't stand how it looks like he's balding. So yeah, plan to finish this portion as soon as I can so that he will no longer be balding. It's okay, you don't need to see my face. You just need to look at this handsome face that I am working on. The handsomest face in the world. So yep, we are continuing this portion so that he won't look like he is balding anymore. I probably left it off the previous time because I probably ran out of length for the string. So yep, today we forge ahead with this portion. Let's see how far we can cover. Trying to finish up all the halfway left sections because I realize it's actually quite difficult to identify what color of string I am previously using because they are all of a very similar shade. I almost ran into that issue again yesterday, but thankfully I'm able to use the correct shade. I was able to make a correct judgment and not use a wrong color again. So yeah, I think that's quite a problem when it comes to such giant cross stitch pieces, because there's bound to be colors which is like just one shade different, and there is really no like easy way to tell which is which. So yeah, I know this week I have been streaming more on my cross stitching, haven't been streaming on my gunpla, because I really want to focus and finish up this piece as much as I can by the end of year 2025. So pardon me for a moment for those who are here to watch some gunpla streaming. I promise gunpla streams will be back soon, but yes, at this moment my attention and full focus is on cross stitching this piece. So yeah, I really can't stand how he looked like he's balding. So let's finish this portion up. And then today's stream, the pace for today's stream will probably be slower because I plan to do all the patching work of all these small gaps here and there to, you know, get it to more nearer to completion. Get it looking nearer to completion. So yeah, my goal today is to work on all the smaller finer details. So it would be a pretty slow paced and chill stream. And tomorrow is Monday again. Oh no. We all need to go back to work. Because if we don't work, we don't have salary. We don't have money. Those who are new to the stream, welcome to the channel. Currently cross-stitching a Linkin Chester Bennington piece. It is a personal project. So yep, as usual at the end of the stream, I will be zooming out to show you guys the full picture and the current progress. So do stick to the end or come back in a few hours time and have a look at the result. I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed. Even if you are disappointed, do let me know. I'll see where I can do better next time. So yep, apologies for the constant flipping of the canvas. Like I explained in my previous stream, I feel more comfortable stitching this way, even though it's not the most efficient way and not the best view for you all watching. But yes, it's the most comfortable way for me to stitch. So yeah. Recently I finished another keychain for a new customer, so maybe I'll give that a show later on this stream. Look, instantly not balding anymore. The receding hairline is gone. We have patched up the receding hairline. No need to go the Beijing Yao Ling Yao anymore. So yeah, need to be very careful and not tangle up the string accidentally. And yes, I may probably begin working on some new color as well, and those are required for patching up all these small gaps here and there. So yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. And yep, as you can see, we are already looping back, giving the hairline a real good fix. Instantly not balding anymore. So yes, got to be real careful with the string. Like I mentioned in previous streams, when working with dark color strings, you do not want them to get tangled up because it is an absolute nightmare to untangle them. So yes, slow and steady stitching work. Alright, here. Oh no, I just realized I'm not on my Wi-Fi again. Hence the poor quality on the stream. Give me a moment while I switch my network. Okay, it should be better now. So yes, let's continue. should be making pretty steady progress today. And yes, I have never been so determined to finish a project by the end of the year. So I'll definitely be going slower through these portions because stitching with the stream on, it's quite difficult for me to visualize properly where I'm running my strings. So I'll need to be more careful to make sure that I'm stitching at the correct area. Have to be constantly counting to ensure that I'm putting in the correct amount of stitches. Four. Here we go. 5. Okay, give me a moment. Inspect it. Okay. Can. It's looking pretty good. We can continue. Alright. Oh, do let me know if any of you are interested in getting a cross-stitching tutorial. If there's enough requests for it, I can consider doing a simple tutorial for anyone who's interested to start cross-stitching. Brilliant. Okay, so this one will run here. Can't get this section. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I already did 1. Two. It is definitely a very dense section. Seven, and then I think this portion I'm go up here. Yep. Two. Okay, need to get into the correct spot. Yep. Go. Three. Oops, wrong. Yep, you see it's very easy to get it on the wrong spot. Four. Okay, and now we working our way back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Way back up. One. Hello, welcome to the stream. Pardon me if there are times where I'm pretty silent because I'm focusing on how many stitches I need to do. To make sure that I am stitching the correct amount of stitch. So later at the end of the stream, I will be doing a zoom out shot and then you guys can see more of the bigger picture. So do stick around, I'll come back again later. So yeah, it's pretty tough for me to see due to it being a dark color. 4. 5. Oh my gosh, there's a fly. 6. 7. Okay, one more here. 8. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's take a look here. Yep, instantly better. Okay, so yep, let's carry on with this. Let's carry on with this fine roll here. Welcome anybody who is new to the channel. So yeah, currently I think most of my live stream will be on cross stitching, not so much on Gunpla, because I really want to focus on finishing this piece as much as I can before the end of 2025. So for those who subscribe for the Gunpla content, do bear with me a little bit. Ah. 2, and here we go, 3. Five. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. So yep, at this section we are just working in tens, groups of tens. So it's easier for us to keep track of how many more we need to do. So we just work in rows of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10s. Here. 2. 3. Hundred. 6. Give me a moment. Let me finish this 10 first. 7. 8. Okay, why not 100? Because 10 times 10 is already 100. So yes, 10. 10, 10 is 100. So yes, 10. Why count 100 when I can count 10? Maybe we can have a game in the chat section. You guys like spam random number questions, and then I see if it will mess me up in my counting for the stitching. Three. Come here. 4. 5. 6. 7. So yep, for this section I will be going back to the rule that I'm sticking with and made for myself. So for each long big patches like this, I will do 1 row by 1 row, to and fro before jumping to the next row, so that I will not confuse myself. Alright, almost done with this portion. Just need to look back down a few times. And we can begin our patching work for this stream. I'm really looking forward to how the overall piece will look like after all these small holes are patched up. I think all these small holes and details would definitely make a very big difference at the end of the piece. So yes, that would be one of our focus for this stream, patching up all the holes around. Okay, I can't really see. Okay, yep, got it. Okay, give me a moment. Having a line moment here. Okay, I think I stitched a wrong column here. Let me see if I can get the string out. Okay, so yeah, this part is correct. It's the coming back up that is wrong. Lucky it was spotted. If not, if I would have continued stitching there already, it'd be bad for me. Okay, let's continue. So yeah, this one it should actually be here instead of going back up. So yeah, on the third row here. One. Wow, stitching this portion is really testing my eye power on whether I can spot where the string goes next. Two. Three. Four. Ah. 6. 7. 9. 10. Alright, another 7. Okay. Not sure if this length of string that I have is able to finish this section, but let's just see how much we can go. Continuing with another 10. Three. Four. Hmm. Six. Yes. Seven. And here. 8. Oops, a bit off camera. Here. 9. Go one more. 10. Okay, and then we go 3 more. One, 2. Wow, the stream is already 40 minutes long and we are just working on one section still. Oh my gosh. No choice. Some work can't be rushed. Slow and steady wins the race. 2. But we're making very good progress. We have actually covered a lot in this stream already. All these portions which are previously undone is now almost completed even. One, two, three, four, five, and then here we go. 6, 7, 8, 10. Then it's probably just a 6 next. Oh, I think we may be able to finish this entire section with this one string. hopefully. I think we are at a pretty good clear. Maybe a tight squeeze, but I think we can finish this whole section with this one length of string. I think it's quite good. Okay, just a little bit more. One final row for this section. So hopefully, yep. Hopefully we will be able to run through this entire section with this remaining length. That would be the best case scenario. One, two, three, four. Welcome to the stream, people. Welcome. 5, 6, 6. Then here we go, final 12, no, final 13 stitches for this section. Hopefully it's enough length. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 's getting pretty difficult to get the needle in sometimes. 5, we're at the home run now. 6, 7, 8, 9, last few stitches. 9, I think this may be a wrong spot. Let me U-turn it a bit. Sometimes there are like too much going on at the back, hence it's a bit difficult for the needle to pass through. 10. Oh, nice. Beautiful. We can finish it. We are actually able to finish this section with the length of string we have prepared today. Beautiful. Wow, this is the best. Best feeling ever. Okay, nice. He is no longer balding. No longer balding. Wow, wow, wow. Really pretty impressive. Managed to finish this whole section. So yeah, let me end off this string. So how I end it off is usually I'll tuck it through a few loops at the back. I find it as the most secure and neatest way to end off any stitching. Okay, give me a moment. Where's my scissors? Okay, got it. Okay, and then we just snip it off. Okay, and then yep, this short remaining length, probably can't do anything with it unless there's like some one spot which I probably do not have already because I've cleared them pretty thoroughly. Okay, and now let's move on to the goal of today's stream, patching up all these small sections. So I'll just begin with whatever color that I'm currently working on that I have, and we will just move around from there and see what color we can use. Oops, excuse me. So we have a bit of orange here. So yeah, this is the orange that we are working with. And from this part of the stream on and out, we will just be doing patching work. So the pace will definitely be a lot slower than the usual stream. But yeah, it is necessary to finish all this patchwork because it's what gives the portrait its sharp look. It's what makes the portrait looks alive. So yeah, usually for all these single sections, I will just tie a dead knot to anchor the string in place, and then I'll just do whatever stitch required, and then same thing, tuck all the string at the back. So yep, do a simple cut. Everything will be away, and then we just patch it up. So as you can see, when I say patchwork, it really is patchwork, because you see, it's just one grid. It's just one grid. So when I say patchwork, it really is patchwork, because it's really just one or two grid at most. And it takes a lot of time because we are constantly restarting and starting a new length over and over again, and hence it's actually a pretty tedious process, but it is all necessary if we want our work to look good and stunning. So yeah, I see my next spot to patch up already. It will be another one grid only, so yeah. Okay, so now just doing all the patchwork one grid by one grid, and later at the end when I zoom out, we should be able to see an even more complete portrait of Chester Bennington already. So yep. So usually I leave all this patchwork to when the section is more or less completed already for large pieces. If I'm working on my small pieces such as my keychains or like smaller grid, smaller scale projects, I would usually incorporate in the patchwork along the way as I'm doing the stitching. But yes, for such bigger pieces, I would prefer to do the patchwork all at once at the end of a section when it is more or less completed. I find the workflow neater that way. So yep, because for smaller works like my keychains and all, usually I'll leave the outlining to the last portion. So I would usually patch up everything on the main artwork, on the main sections, and then I'll leave the outlining to the last. So all this patchwork when I'm working with smaller pieces are sort of like do first for me. So okay, here are the red sections. Then yep, just need to see where I need to patch. So yes, a lot of string tying as you can see. I can probably do it with just one knot, but I would prefer knotting it twice because I think it's more secure But yeah, usually I think one loop is fine already. This is a 18 CT cloth, so it's actually pretty smooth already, and I'm using 2 strands of string. So yeah, I'm just doing triple so that it would be more secure for me. Yeah, we want to grab as much details as we can each time. Actually really enjoy doing all this patching work. It's quite nice. Because you know, you just do one stitch, one or two stitch each time. Then you move on and you see the whole piece coming together even more quickly. But yeah, one thing that is tiring when doing such patchwork would be the constant changing of length or changing of color and constant tying of knots. Okay, and yep, as you can see here, this section we are getting three grids at one, 3 spots at once. Da, 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 da. And I'm thinking of probably starting another orange already, because I see quite more or less a few portions of this patching work requires that orange already. So I may just go ahead and unbundle that orange color that I have. And usually when working on all these pieces, like even though I have a reference, and like with the reference there's all the like codes for all the string colors and all, I usually still like to use my eye power and you know, just observe what's the color and then have a rough idea of what shade it is, compare it with other colors, and you know, I'll just go. So yeah, I do not follow the rule book very closely. I'll just give and use my eyeball and you know, glance through, eyeball the color, and if I think it's a match, then I'll just go for it. And even if it turns out a different shade, I mean, it's still completed. So yes, let's continue with this length first, because I can still spot quite a few portions with this color before I'll move into the next color. Do let me know if you guys prefer watching such patching work or like big sections of cross stitching. Because personally I find patching work pretty interesting. So yep, I'll make it a point to cut off the ends as well, so that at the back it won't look so messy. I like to keep the back as tidy as I can when I'm working through these pieces. So then hopefully next time I'll be able to find a frame that can accommodate to be transparent on both sides, so I can admire both the back stitch of this piece and the main artwork at the front as well. Because I really feel that the back stitches on its own is a piece of art itself. So yeah, sometimes when it's too messy at the back, it's a little bit difficult to, you know, identify where's the color. I mean, where's the spot that we need to stitch through. So yeah, I gotta be even more careful, because at this point really all the colors are just very similar. So yep, so far we have done like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 7 spots. And we will continue in filling up more spots. Yep, so you can see it's quite of a tangle here, so we need to find a good space to anchor our string in so that it won't come loose. And then I think maybe I'll just anchor it. Okay, through here. Usually, like so far into a big piece, the strings are usually pretty well secured already, but yeah, I like the extra, like to do some extra securing with them. Like even though at this point there is really no way the string can go loose and untangle. If the string still goes loose and untangle at this stage, I should probably stop cross stitching. It's a sign, you know, just take a break. Okay, so yeah, this portion is actually the eyes. So it doesn't look much when it is zoomed in and close, but when you zoom it out, it looks pretty, yeah, it's nice. You can see the details. So this portion is here, and then yep, here, this fine spot is where we will patch our next stitch. So yes, really just focusing on all this patchwork now, because eventually, sooner or later, we would still need it to be done. So it's just a matter of when we do it. Sometimes the needle can be a little bit slippery. Maybe I should get like some rubber finger gloves so that I can have better grip on the needle and it's not so straining for me. Carpal tunnel especially. Okay, we're almost done with this length. Probably maybe I would say three more spots, and then we will be able to move on to the next color. So currently I'm still thinking, still divided between continuing some yellow or getting the new darker orange out already, because I actually haven't worked on any dark orange section on this piece yet. So yep, I'll probably keep this stream on until my device is running low, so it will be a pretty long stream compared to my usual streaming duration. And yep. Maybe I should like have a, when I'm doing patchwork, I should have a paper at the side counting, like, you know, how many stitch I've put in for what color and what color. so that you guys can keep track on how much we have done, because currently it really looks like I'm not doing anything. Okay, I think I'm pretty satisfied with this length already and probably not work with it anymore. Save myself the trouble of short string. So yep, let me zoom out a little bit. Then let me get the other orange color out. Have a drink. So yes, this is the other orange that I'm planning to use. As you can see, they are very similar, and if you look at the code, it is just one shade different once again. So yes, that's why I really need to be careful when I take a break on the piecework, because they really look too similar. It's really just a matter of one shade. I mean, in the system, when I'm working on it, it's not one shade, it's a few shades. It's a whole different color, in fact. But like I said, I usually just eyeball the color, and you see it's one shade different. And I have no idea why when I started this project, for quite for quite a good amount of number, I just up the code when I'm preparing them. So that makes things even worse. When I take a long break, I have no idea what color I need to use when I'm back. So yeah, that is a mistake and short sighting from my side, and no more, none of that anymore, and hence that's why I want to finish this piece as soon as I can. I'm really now just, you know, laser focused. And yeah, so hey, I'm pretty bad with uncoiling them, as you can see. Okay, give me a moment. So yes, working on a fresh length of string is always a nice feeling. Fresh strand, fresh color. And usually I'm not too neat or particular with how I coil up the strings. I usually just, you know, coil one layer. So I'll try to keep the first layer as neat and tidy as I can, and after that I'll just and coil everything up. So yep, for this first layer I would still put in effort and try to keep it as tidy as I can. Then after that I'll just coil everything up. Okay, and then from here we will just coil it all up. I think each row of string is quite long. It's a few meters minimally. So if you are like if you are quite conservative with your work, and like you run your string properly and you don't leave quite an excess amount when working on the different portion, you can actually use each string for quite a number of projects. Yeah. So I've seen like some artists, they would just one color and they run it across many sections, even if the sections are far away. I'm personally not a fan of it. Not saying you can't do it or it's wrong, but I'm personally not a fan of it. Because usually like for example, let's say this patching work, I can have just one string and I run it across many times at the back because it's completely fine. I just need to tuck it in. But nah, it's not my style. So like maybe because this piece is very huge, very large, so to save some time, maybe sometimes like maybe if it's 3-4 grids away, I would still oh okay, I'll just leave a little bit more string at the back and jump across. But if it's like 4-5 grids, nah, I definitely give it a miss. Won't work on such a huge gap or jump between my stitches. Okay, let me have a quick sip of water. And now we carry on with this portion. So I actually have my grid laid out closely at the side, especially for such areas, so that I can make sure that I'm stitching at the correct place and using the correct color. Because there's always a chance that I can just stitch and miss out on what color I'm actually using. 976, 976, 976, 976. So yeah. For those who are wondering, this is an 18 CT cloth and I'm using 2 strands for full coverage. Okay, so this one, the red, I'll probably start here. As you can see, even though I try to keep it as neat as I can, the back area of this portion is already very like cramped. So I cannot imagine if I were to like just run the string through multiple sections using one length, even though they are far apart. Cannot imagine how much messier it would be. Nice. Okay, so we have our first grid of this darker orange. This is the first time we are using this color on this piece, so we can expect to see more details popping out now. Expect to see more juicy details popping out now that we are using a new color. And that's one thing that I really like about cross stitching. Whenever you start a new color, you can always see details that are previously hidden being highlighted, and it immediately brings more life to the piece. And yes, even though they are just one shade different, it will still have an effect overall. See, even though it is just one shade different, you can see that this is slightly lighter than this is slightly lighter than this. So yeah, When more is up and done, it will definitely contribute to the effect of the overall piece. So we just need to be patient and slowly work our way through. All this patching work has been something I want to do for quite long already, so I'm actually quite glad that I have the momentum to work on all this patchwork now. To say you're more the victim, you wanna complain, pass the blame. You want to say you're more the victim. You wanna be just another someone, somebody angry, somebody broken. You rather be there than being all alone. Listen endlessly to your injuries. You wanna talk about your sores. I used to be as innocent as you. My excuses ran out of things to complain about. Fear will always find a way to show. Riding through. You want to be more hurt than me. I'll probably keep the stream running for a little longer, and then I'll go and continue all this off camera already. I think we have a pretty fruitful stream session already, so yeah. Thank you everybody who joined. Appreciate all your presence here. Appreciate it greatly. Really happy with the progress today. Yes, I plan to currently, just because this color that we are using now is really new to this piece. So I think the goal for my goal for the rest of the day will be to cover as much area as I can with this piece, with this color, and then it would definitely bring the details of this piece to another level. It will definitely shine a lot more. And it's some problem here because there's actually an old knot there, so it's like a little bit tangled and jumbled. And there are two knots there. Can't really pull it through. So maybe maybe it's a sign for me to end the stream here already. Nah, it's fine. So it's a little jangle up here. Pull it out, yeah. Ta-da. Okay, great. Oh, this red color is quite jammed in. Let me tug it out a little bit. Yeah. Nice. So yes, I'll probably end the stream off here already. and then I will continue all the patching work with this color, and hopefully by the end of when I stream it again next time, it will be even closer to completion. And yes, I plan to, you know, just use this color and boom, fill up as much area as I can, because it's the first time I'm using this color for this piece, and it will add in a lot more details. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining this stream. Hope to see you all in the next session. Thank you all joining, I appreciate it greatly. So yes, bye bye.